All right, you guys, what's up? We're back and we're live. Welcome back to our daily live feed. As you're logging on, if you'd like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits, and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing. If you didn't see it, our next show is North Americans and Masters World, and we do have space available for hair and makeup. So if you're on Instagram, you can click the link in my bio. If you're on YouTube, the link is in my description box. What's up, guys? What's up? Say hello. Tonight's QR code is for Cuties Conquer the Stage 2024. So if you're on Instagram, you don't see this, you'll see it over on YouTube or Facebook. If you want to go over to those platforms, it is a much more user-friendly platform. We will be screen sharing, showing all of the things. You see all the comments over there, all of that. What's up? Yes, say hello when you log on. If you are not already on the pre-registration launch list for Cuties Conference Stage tickets, that's what this QR code is right here. All you got to do is put your name and your email address on there. That gets you on the list. It also gives you all the information about the event. It gives you the date, the time, the place, the who, the what, the where, the everything. It gives you all the information that you need. It also gives you an invite into the Facebook group. The ladies are all in the Facebook group already. We're already dropping exclusive content inside there from last year. My husband is calling me. He knows I'm on my live. We've been through this. I don't know how many times I have to tell him that I am live at 8:15 every night, but I am live. So hang on. All right, just had to tell him again. Men. He could literally open up his YouTube or Facebook and see that I am live right now. Anyway, I lost track of my train of thought. So what I was saying was, all of the information is in our Facebook group. So if you're not on the list yet, you need to be. We do launch ticket sales on Tuesday next week at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those of you that came last year, there are already 17 tickets that are sold. There is a limited number of tickets. We do this every year, a limited number of tickets, because it is a very high-end event, and we want to make sure that we bring the best possible quality to you and keep it intimate so you get all of the attention that you deserve. And so make sure that you're on it. Make sure you're on it. So tonight we have 3 shows to preview. 2 of them are going to be relatively quick. We have the City Showdown. That's going to be real quick. Then we have the Klash, which is also pretty quick. And then there's Masters Olympia as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go into all of the divisions on Masters Olympia. I'm actually going to only go into Bikini, because to be honest with you, we don't really have a whole lot of Masters successful pros period in wellness. They have like 1 Masters Pro show, so it's really anybody's game for wellness. For Bikini, we have a lot more of those, so we're going to do Bikini. What's up, guys? What's up? Yeah, keep saying hi when you log on. I love it. I love it. We get all the comments coming up. So we will go into that, and we're going to talk a little bit about the show itself and everything too. So first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to talk about City Showdown, because that's going to probably be the easiest one to preview tonight. Right here. All right, here's our list. It's still a relatively decent list, that kind of thing. I'll talk more about the Masters Olympia when we get there. So I'll answer questions and stuff when we get there. So since City Showdown is a wellness pro show, looking over the list, even though it's a decent size list actually for our wellness lineups, like, they've been kind of small this year, that kind of thing. There's really only 2 names on here that kind of stand out to me. First one on there being Diana. So Diana just competed. We just talked about her last night. So she just competed in Texas this past week, placed 4th there. So she would be somebody that would be a front runner. She is a previous Olympian. She's won shows in the past. Felt like in Texas, she was not conditioned enough. Her tan was too light. There was just a lot of little polished things that were off. We just talked about her last night. So we're not going to go into too much detail with her. Maria posted she was going to Vegas next. Maria, which Maria? Give me a last name. I'm blanking right now. So it's been a long day. I had back-to-back clients all day. So I had like 7 clients in a row. So unless I have a full name, I won't know. I won't know who you're talking about. But if you give me their last name, I'll pull her up. But yeah. So I would say that she's Maria Paulette. Okay. So let me plug her in real quick. Spell that right. I'm not even looking. I probably could do that, right? Is that it? No, that's not it. That is not the right person. Definitely not the right person. let me try that again. I did Marie. Let's see. There we go. There she is. I knew I'd looked her up before. There we go. Okay. And what? She placed 8th in Texas. I don't expect her to be in the medaling. I know. I don't expect her to be in the medaling spots. If she is actually on this list and she's actually doing this, I think she's gonna be outside the top 5 for reasons we have discussed. For reasons we have discussed in the past. So I think this is gonna be a 2-woman show. I think it's gonna come down to Diana and Andrea. And frankly, I think Andrea is going to walk away with it pretty easily. The only thing she really, in my opinion, needed to do in Tampa was come in a little bit tighter. She's got a phenomenal look overall. She's got great stage presence, great posing, great look. You know, this is a really, really good wellness look. Just in my opinion, was a little bit too soft from the back. So if she comes in a little bit tighter, I don't see anybody beating her. I don't see anybody beating her at this show. I think it's going to be hers to win, and I think she's going to take that Olympia qualification, and I think that she's going to be a threat to some people at the Olympia as well. So real easy prediction right here for this particular show. I think she's going to easily take it. I could be wrong. You know, we've seen a lot of upsets in wellness this year. We've seen a lot of things that we don't necessarily know why it's happening, that kind of thing. But you know, I just think that that's going to be it. So is Danielle on the list? I think I looked up everybody on the list, and I don't remember who that is. Let me see. Danielle. Let me look her up real quick. Oh, I did look her up. You know, that's right. And I didn't include her because all we had was like 4 pictures from one Brazil show. So I did not include her for that reason. But I see what you're saying. She's a potential threat. I could see that definitely. So, oh, I was just looking at a comment. But anyways, so yeah, I see what you're saying. I could see her for sure. I might as well pull her out because I did actually pull her pictures up, but I just didn't show them because she's only got a few pictures on NBC News Online because it's a Brazilian show that she was in. This girl right here. I suppose we can pull, and she's not even like in a full pose in any of these photos. There you go. So she's got a good look. Can't really tell a whole lot about her conditioning from this lighting or anything like that. And like I said, this is really the only full pose that they have of her on there. So, and this was from 2022, so it's been a while. So she could come out and be one to look at for sure. Yep, I see that. She placed 3rd in this particular show. So good call. I almost brought her up, but I just didn't because she hasn't actually competed here. So yeah, that's all they've got on there. And it could be a spelling thing with her name. A lot of times I have to go digging because sometimes the spelling's off on NBC News Online. So I have to go find and try to guess where she might possibly be. So we'll see. Regardless, it doesn't matter until she gets on stage this weekend. You know, that's when it really counts. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So next, we're going to bring up the Klash. All right. So this is a pretty decent sized list, and there's quite a few girls on here that could be potential top fives. That have placed top five in the past, have been recently placing, first call out top five, that kind of thing. So what I did is I pulled out a few names that I think we should be watching to see who's going to actually take this and who's not, that kind of thing. Again, going back to what we said last week with Texas, it should have been an easy win for Issa, and it ended up not being, right? Ashlyn ended up coming in and taking it. So if anybody was betting on that particular show, everybody would put their money on Issa. I mean, I saw lots of threads where everybody was saying Issa was going to win it, and she didn't. She took second. So that tells you this could be anybody's game. So I pulled out a few names here for this particular list. First one on the list is Yulia. And the reason why I pulled Yulia out is because she's one of our girls. She's one of our Pro Performer Promise winners. This is one of my suits that, oh, wow, that just opened for me in a new slot. I've never had it do that to me before. Usually it's a new window. So anyway, this is one of my suits. She is a sponsored athlete with us because she won her pro card while wearing one of my suits. So for those of you that don't know, we do the Pro Performer Promise. So if you win your pro card, your IFBB pro card while wearing one of my suits, then you earn your sponsorship for the remainder of your career. So this is one of our Pro Performer Promise winners right here. So this is our first show of the season. She's coming back with quite a bit more size on her. Already has a fantastic look, but it's just going to be amplified this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do. She was consistently in the middle of those second call outs every show she did last year. So she was just outside of like the top 5, top 6 area. So I'm curious to see if with the additional size, she can bump up. I think she can. So this will be her first show out this year. Has changed quite a few things about her look. Should be a really, really good look for her. So I just wanted to give her a little shout out here too. So there's Yulia. Next up, I brought up Wu Bai, who, we talked about her last night. We talked about how we liked the red suit better on her that she wore in Tahoe. In Tahoe, she came in second. In Texas, she didn't really change anything from Tahoe, and she came in 5th in Texas. So if she comes in and maybe to get some feedback and actually listens to feedback and changes some of her posing, comes in a little bit softer, things like that, this could be a whole new competitor that we see on stage if she takes the feedback and applies it. We talked about it last night where it looked like she didn't really apply any feedback from Tahoe. So we'll see if she's changed that. In my opinion, go back to the red suit, get a little bit softer, fuller, that kind of thing, and change up some of the posing situations. If she does that, then she could very well be a threat here at this particular show. Yulia's on our Instagram, and she said she can't wait for her final look. So good luck to Yulia this weekend. Then we have Ariana. I brought her up as well because she just won Nashville. So we just talked about her last night because she is now Olympia qualified, which means that she has got nothing to lose, right? So coming into this show, she could walk out of it with a win, but even if she doesn't, she's putting herself in front of Sandy to get some more feedback. She's putting herself in front of or next to Issa, so she could potentially beat Issa or at least get looked at next to Issa so she knows what she needs to do in order to get better. This is a win-win situation for her. No matter what happens, she's going to come out with valuable feedback going into Olympia. I think she actually has the opportunity where she could potentially beat Issa as well. Just like we saw Ashlyn do that. Ashlyn beat her by a narrow margin in Tampa. You know what I mean? It was 1-2 right there. I don't know what the scorecard was, so I don't want to say narrow margin, but you get what I'm saying. It was first and second place. So, she could come into this show and she could flip this script on Issa again. That's very, very possible. It's hard when you are a previous Olympia champion to come into these shows and not win them right here mentally. So I'm sure Issa has to bounce back right here more than anything else. So if anybody's going to upset Issa, I think Ariana does have a chance to do that. With that said, our obvious front runner for this particular show would be Issa. So, we just talked about her last night. She just did Texas. She had a lot of little errors in Texas that could easily be fixed in a week. Some of those things being her, her presentation as far as her tan is concerned, her hair and makeup. This whole look here for her was just a kind of a miss with the details. And then, also she was just way too hard, way too hard. And she has some posing errors and things like that too. Some of these things she actually fixed going into finals, and it could have been a different show had she not done that at prejudging. So, this could be a completely different Issa that shows up this coming weekend. She's always going to be a threat no matter what stage she gets on, because she has an incredible shape and frame and look. It's just a matter of her making sure that she dials everything in correctly. And I'm sure they're going to make some adjustments from this past week. I'm sure she's gunning and hoping she can come back and win this show. She does not want another second place or less. I mean, there could be people that beat her at this particular show even more so. So we'll see. Obviously, like I said, she would be the front runner going in, but she was last week too. So we don't know until they get up on that stage. So those were my picks for this particular show. Is there anybody else that you guys had that I didn't mention that could be a potential threat for the win? Now, again, looking over the list, there's a lot of girls on this list who have been placing, first call outs, top fives, that kind of thing. Now, I did notice this down here as well. Actually, Devin pointed this out to me. Is this real? Do you guys know? Because Angela actually posted that in her stories. I didn't go back and look. I should have gone back and looked. But Angela just competed this last weekend, and she competed in wellness. And she also competed in wellness in Tampa. And for some reason, it's not coming up on NBC News right now. So she also competed in wellness in Tampa, and she placed in Tampa in wellness. So is she coming back, and is she going to Bikini? That's the question. So does anybody know? Again, she had it on her stories. I didn't go look again to see if she updated that or not. But that would be interesting to see if she was getting on stage in Bikini after just being on stage in wellness last week. That would be fun to watch. That would be fun to watch. And yes, we do have Andrea, one of our girls that we work with posing and suits and all that kind of stuff. She is doing NPC at Klash as well. Yep. Comes to our Sundays with Sean religiously, all of that. So anybody else on the list? Nobody? You guys got nobody else? Did I pull the best names? Yeah, the only thing I can think of, Devin, is that maybe she turned in a contract for one of the other shows for Sin City, and that they put it onto this show instead. That's happened before. Where they've put it into the wrong show. So, but I don't know. Like I said, I haven't gone back to check, so I don't know if she's actually doing the show or if she's not. But that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting if she's doing it. And on to interesting. Okay, so we're going into the Masters Olympia now. Yes, there is an SWS this Sunday, which is the Sundays with Sean. For those of you that are new here, Daraj is not competing. No, she's not on the list. Unless she's just not on the list. It's possible. I mean, I haven't seen any other announcements or anything like that. It's possible that they just didn't update it. But I haven't seen her actually say if she's going to be competing or not. So I don't think so. So that said, all those things said, we have Masters Olympia coming up this coming weekend too. So to cover a couple of things with Masters Olympia, they have had a Masters Olympia in the past. So yeah, Paul made a post, but I didn't read the post. I did see her picture pop up, but I didn't actually go look at the post. That could have just been a check-in though. But anyway, so back to Masters Olympia. So they have had a Masters Olympia in the past, but it was only men. It was only open men. This is the first time that they've had all divisions there. All divisions will be represented. It's in Romania. And frankly, I think it's something that should have happened quite a bit sooner. We have quite a few Masters athletes now. I think that the more support that we can give towards Masters athletes, the better that this sport will be. So I'm hoping that this does well and that they continue to do it, and that they have a good turnout. They have, good return, all those kinds of things. I'm really hoping that it's successful so they can continue to do it as we go along. I think that for this sport in particular, I think it actually speaks to masters athletes more so than it does newer generations. And I'll explain why, because it's not an instant gratification sport. We, as you know, live in a microwave society now. Everyone wants everything done now. Everyone wants everything now. And bodybuilding is not that way at all. You have to be in the gym for years before you can even be somewhat competitive, right? And then you have to really love it. You have to be dedicated to it every single day. You have to do the lifestyle every single day. And I think that particular type of life kind of speaks to our masters generation a little bit more than it does our Gen Z. I know some of you guys on here are Gen Z, so it's okay. It's all right. But I'm just saying, in general, that's the case. In general, that's the case. People nowadays, younger generations nowadays want things now, immediate, microwave, right? Versus those of us that are a little bit more seasoned and a little bit have been around a little bit longer. Those of us we're willing to put the time and the effort and the work into it to make something really, really great, right? So all of that said, I'm glad that they do have the Masters Olympia. I'm curious to see how it goes over. I'm curious to see how everybody loves it. All those kinds of things. I do want to watch the coverage this coming weekend. I'm gonna be watching it for sure, to see how it goes. And I do have Bikini up to preview. And the main reason why I'm only previewing Bikini is because that's really the only division that we've had a lot of Masters shows in. We've had a lot of these women competing for years already in the Masters Pro League, and doing very, very well. So, this one was a hard one as far as pulling out people that I felt like could be, potential winners and stuff here. So, because all of these people, the way that they got on this list was by applying. And the way that they got accepted was through their record. So they had to have some decent placings and things like that, some wins, that kind of thing, in order to even be accepted in here. So, me sitting here and pulling out a handful of names doesn't really mean a whole lot at the end of the day. It could end up being anybody's game for that top 5, right? Now, the question was asked earlier, does the winner get an Olympia qualification? Yes. So whoever wins each division for the Masters Olympia does get a qualification for the actual Olympia as well. So whoever wins this is going to get Olympia qualified as well. There is one person on this list that is already Olympia qualified. So guess who the front runner for this particular show is? We'll get to that. We all know. We already know. But I did pull out a few other names to be paying attention to. The first one is America Abato. So she is in her 50s, but whenever she does Masters shows, she tends to be towards the top. Now, Chicago, she didn't win, but I think it was 45 and over, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember exactly the age range. Let me see. Over 40. No, she did. She won the over 50. So she didn't win the over 40. She came in third in the over 40. But still, that's what Masters Olympia is. It's over 40. So she could very well be in your top 5, top 3, that kind of thing, very easily. She's one of those ones definitely be watching. She does compete in the Open as well sometimes, and tends to be about second call out or so in the Open, which is fantastic for somebody that's over 50, right? So she's one to be paying attention to. And then we've got Abby Gaetano. Abby just won Tampa, so that's why I pulled her up. She looked phenomenal in Tampa. I mean, I was there watching that, and she looked really, really good in the Masters. She did win this one, so that's another name. That's why I brought her and pulled her up. She does tend to do very well. She does tend to be, towards the top. She's even placed top 5 in the Open as well. So this is somebody to be watching too. So next one that I pulled up was Janine, which again, now she was a little off in Tampa. not going to say why, but I know why, for masters. But she does tend to have top 5 placings in the open as well. So she's another one that could potentially squeak up in there and get into that top two spot, that kind of thing. So she's definitely one to be watching. And again, she's won a lot of these over 40 shows, right? And again, top 5s and opens. So if they're getting top 5 and open, they're definitely somebody that's going to be a threat once you get into the masters grouping, right? Then we have Michelle Hurst, which her picture didn't pop up for whatever reason, so let me find her. Who, again, she has been winning. This is an old show. My goodness, why did they have that? She just won the Masters in Tahoe, and she was also in second call out and open in Tahoe. So I don't know why. Maybe just the Tahoe pictures aren't loading. So she did just win a Masters show, and again, she was also in first call. Or second call? Was it first call out? I can't remember if it was first or second call out. I think it was first call out in Tahoe, and then she ended up being in the second grouping of confirmation. So I think she was like, yeah, I think that's what it was. So I think she ended up placing like 7th or 8th, something like that in the open. So again, we're looking at somebody who's in the top call outs in the open and winning master shows. So another one to be paying attention to. And I brought up Angela as well. So Angela's won several shows. I've never even seen these photos from this particular show. This was just the first one that popped up. But again, another one that's in her 50s, but does tend to win the 50 and over, tend to be in the top 2, top 3, and the 40 and over, that kind of thing. So another one to be paying attention to. I could see her potentially in that first call out here. This is actually one of my suits that she's wearing right here as well. She's won several shows in my suits. I lost track of how many shows she's won in my suits. We've also helped her with her posing and her hair and makeup and all that too. Not this particular show. I didn't do that hair and makeup. But yeah, she's definitely another one to be paying attention to as well going into this show. And then last but not least, we have Jessica Wilson. So Jessica Wilson is the only competitor on this list that is already Olympia qualified. And she is now 3-time Olympia qualified as an athlete, just in the open. And she's over 40. Love Jessica, personal friend of mine. Also has been speaking at CCTS for the last 3 years. She's coming back again this year. She's 10 days younger than me. 10 days younger than me. So I like seeing women in their 40s being able to represent in the open. And she did just win the DC Pro-Am this year. So again, she is Olympia qualified again in her 40s. So, you know, women like her kind of show that it is possible when you're in your 40s. She's always been very, very consistent. She's always taken her feedback and improved upon it. She's got a great look, great presence, all of that. In my opinion, this is kind of her show to lose. She is, like I said, already Olympia qualified. So I would say she's the front runner for sure. She actually almost placed top 10 in the Olympia her first year out, which was when she was 39. She was 39, her first Olympia, I believe. And she placed just outside of the top 10. I think she was 13th or something like that. So to be one of the top competitors in the world and over the age of 40 is a pretty phenomenal feat. And like I said, she would be obviously your front runner going into this. I would be surprised if she doesn't win this, but anything is possible. Like I said, there's some of these ladies that have been placing top 5s in the open already, so they could very well come in. And if she's off a little bit, they all have to travel to Romania for this thing. That can put a lot of stress on your body. Who knows? There could be a lot of things in there that play a part. So this is anybody's game. But like I said, it's kind of her show to lose. So what do you guys think? Who do you think is going to take home the inaugural Masters Olympia title for Bikini? Because again, we could go into the other divisions, but they really haven't had any wellness Masters shows. Other than, you know, there's been like 2, 3, that kind of thing. And there's like 3 competitors that show up. So we don't have a whole lot to go off of when it comes to wellness. And the same thing with Masters figure. I think Jessica Reyes Padilla is on there, right? And if that's the case, let me see. Let me find I think I just X'd it out. Let me find figure real quick. Is she? Yep. Jessica Reyes Padilla is on here for figure. And she is a top Olympian in the open. So I would be shocked if she does not win this because she has won every show. She's won every show. She just won a show last week. So I'd be really, really shocked if she doesn't win this. So a lot of these ladies on here are Olympian previously, that kind of thing, but nobody with a record like Jessica Reyes Padilla. Nobody. So I would be very, very surprised if she doesn't win this. So yeah, thoughts? Anybody have anything to add on that? So anything else that you want to add here? It's going to be an interesting weekend. I'm curious to see how this goes. Now, like I said, I personally am pulling for Jessica in the bikini division because, again, personal friend of mine. If you guys listen to my Spotify, I did an interview with her prior to the New York Pro this year. So go check out that Spotify if you haven't already. It is in the description box on YouTube here if you want to learn a little bit more about her. And she is coming back to Cuties Conquering the Stage again this year. So that'll be fun. Speaking of, tomorrow night, 8:15 right here, we're going to have a bunch of our speakers and sponsors on live with me tomorrow night. So make sure that you're here, 8:15 tomorrow, just like we normally do this, but it's going to be the speakers joining me. Not all of them, because some of them, like Jessica, are in Romania. So, they're going to shows, that kind of thing. It is a busy show weekend. So I appreciate the ones that are able to get on with me. And tell you guys a little bit more about what they're going to be bringing to CCTS and what they're excited about and things like that. Answer some of your questions. Like I said, if you're not on the list already, there's the QR code right there for getting on the free pre-registration list right there. Put your name and email address in, and you're good to go. What else? Like I said, North Americans is next week, as well as the Masters World Championship. We have several ladies competing in that. If you need hair and makeup, we do have slots still available. There is a link in my bio on Instagram for our hair and makeup bookings. So go ahead and do that. We'll be there for the whole weekend for North Americans and for Worlds. What am I forgetting? I think that's everything. We do have, for those of you guys that don't know, we do have a boutique as well. I just started sending that link out to a few people today because they were asking questions about suits and stuff. And you can purchase our suits on the boutique. It's still 100% custom made, everything that you do on the boutique. And then once you actually purchase, we do a consultation and everything too, so we can modify things and change things if you like to, customize things, that kind of thing. So that is an option for you on there as well. And something else that people asked is, do they have to do posing and suit with me? No, but you can. You can do the full package with me if you like, or you can separate it out. You don't have to pose with me just because you buy a suit. I don't want you to feel like you're obligated to pose with me if you don't want to pose with me, and vice versa. You can pose with me and not buy a suit, but both, either or, right? If you do the full package, we do give you a bundle discount and bundle deal for doing it all together, but you can do everything separately as well. I think I've covered everything for this evening. Like I mentioned, last night we had Jordan on, and we will be doing weekly podcasts now with Jordan. So that's going to start next week. Send in questions, any topics that you'd like us to cover. We've got a few already set up for this coming week, so that'll be great, and keep doing that. So then that way we can keep that growing and going and getting you guys some info on that. And I think that's it. I think that's all I got for tonight. Like I said, we will be back on again tomorrow night for the speaker roundup for Cuties Conquering the Stage. So your coach is competing in the Masters Olympia. That's great, Raven. I don't even know who. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of coaches competing in the Masters Olympia. So with that, again, if you'd like to come and work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. On suitsandposing.com, and also SeansCoutureCuties.com, you can find all of the information I just talked about as well. So there you go. Oh, okay. I didn't know that Carrie Ann Hennick was your coach. I knew you'd switched, so I didn't know who though. All right, cool, awesome. So with that, I'm gonna let you all go tonight. Again, 8:15 back here tomorrow for our speakers with CCTS speakers and get a preview there. That's it. Hope you guys have a great night, and we will see you back here tomorrow. All right. Good night, you guys.